make liver smothered in gravy. I hope y'all are having a great day today. And if you're not, hopefully I can brighten up your day with this here recipe. So tell me, do you love liver? Do you like it like we do here at the Young's house? Here's what I always like to tell everybody. There's a lot of people out there, and you might be one of them, that says you don't like liver. You might be that person, but I always like to say, don't knock something until you try it, especially until you try it Gina Young style. My husband was one of those people. He told me when we met, he said, I don't like liver and I will never eat it. Baby, I made liver for him one time. All it took was for him to give it a try. He tried it. He said, this tastes like steak. And so now when I make liver, he loves it. He requests it. And we'll see how you like the recipe as well. Super simple to make. Here's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need just some liver. I have some beautiful beef liver here, okay? I got a nice sweet Vidalia onion, and I also have a green bell pepper. I'm putting a tomato in. You don't have to do the tomato, but I love a good tomato that has simmered in gravy. I like to serve my liver along with some type of rice. So whether you're using a white rice, brown rice, or maybe some quinoa, that would be lovely. You're gonna need some flour, okay? I got just some all-purpose flour, and I have some beef broth. I got some spices so everything can come together and taste amazing. We do have some butter and chicken bouillon powder. That's gonna be for the gravy. But I have salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder, parsley flakes as a garnish, and some paprika. Make sure your hands are clean. Let's make delicious smothered liver and onions. Gina, first thing I'm gonna do is put some chicken bouillon powder into my boiling water, and then I'm putting my boil in a bag rice right in. I'm gonna cook it for 11 minutes. Turns out perfect every time. So now that we have our rice going, now's the perfect time to season up this lovely liver. When you wash it off, be nice and gentle with it. Rinse it off with cold water, then give it a pat dry with a paper towel, okay? I'm gonna go in with some garlic and onion powder. I'm only gonna season one side because it's nice and thin. I'm gonna put a little bit of paprika onto it. It's not smoked, it's just regular paprika. We're gonna put some onion powder, and on purpose, I'm putting a nice amount. I want that flavor to shine through. I want this liver to be flavorful. So now this same recipe that I'm showing you today, you can use chicken livers in replace of the beef liver if you want it to. I'm going to go in with some salt, but those that cannot use salt, I always tell you, it's okay. You don't have to use it. Let your family and friends put their own salt on. I'm going to let these spices really seep down into this beef for about 10 minutes before we dredge it. Let's go ahead and dredge up our beautiful liver that we have here. I'm just using an all-purpose flour, but honestly, whatever kind of flour you have or you like to use, it'll be just fine, okay? So I'm going to make sure that I'm covering the liver onto both sides, and then before we begin to cook it, we're going to give it a nice shake off, because any excess flour that falls off of this liver, it'll just naturally go to the bottom and it'll burn, and you don't want your liver to have like a burnt taste to it, right? So now watch this. Once we get it coated, this is that shake off that I'm talking about. Just like that before it goes into the pan. If you have really long pieces like I do, go ahead and use you some kitchen shears and cut them. That's what I'm going to do. Go ahead and cut these long pieces. If I was making like a Haitian or Jamaican liver, I would cut these into little pieces, like bite-sized pieces. That's typically how they do theirs, and it is super delicious, using fresh thyme in their recipe, you know, and maybe a little bit of the bonnet peppers that are super hot would go into that recipe. I'm not doing that today. This is just an original recipe, but it sure sounds good, doesn't it? All right, lovely, just like this. In the meantime, heat your oil up. While I wait on this pan of oil to heat up, in the meantime, I have another pan that has just a little bit of oil in the bottom of this pan. I'm going to take 1 clove of fresh garlic, and I'm going to crush it and put it down in here. I'm making up some fresh broccolini. It's kind of like broccoli. It has a broccoli taste, but a little sour mustardy taste that I absolutely love. And you eat the stems with this one, okay? So we're just going to kind of like stir fry it, okay? So I'm going to get that going. The only thing I'm going to season this with is going to be salt, pepper, onion, and garlic powder, and that's it. It's lovely. Let's go ahead and get this beautiful liver that I've cut down into smaller pieces into this oil. That sizzle right there, if you don't see that sizzle or hear it, wait to put another one in, all right? That sizzle means we're moving in the right direction, and what we're looking for is a nice, beautiful golden brown color onto this liver. It gets crispy, but the inside remains nice, soft, supple, and juicy, flavorful, okay? So let's get those into the pan. Liver was something that I grew up eating. As a kid, my dad would make up some liver. Sometimes he would smother it in a nice gravy like I'm doing today with the sauteed onions. And sometimes he would just like pan fry it with the flour like this, get it nice and crispy, and we would eat it with mustard. I want to know if anybody ever did that as a kid. And I was that kid that loved it. I can't remember really amongst my siblings which ones liked it or they didn't like it. I think my sister was one of those ones that said, no, you want my liver? She would ask me, you know, most likely I was eating it, right? But I loved liver as a kid and still love it as an adult. All right, so now here we go. This is our last piece here. I'm going to make room for it. There we go. In the meantime, we got some rice that's boiling up. Like I said, with that boil in the bag rice, you don't have to worry about it being able to receive that flavor. Somebody had asked me that great question. They said, why are you seasoning the water and the rice is in the bag? Well, there's little perforated holes that you may not be able to see on camera. And those holes allow the flavor to get into the rice. And when I season my water, whether it's just salt and pepper or the chicken bouillon flavor, bouillon powder, the rice is able to, you know, get that flavor because those little holes is in that bag. So don't worry about that. Let me show you what the liver should be looking like. It should be a sizzling. You shouldn't have too much oil in your pan. Just that little bit will fry it up. It's smelling great already. And so now let's talk about this flour that I have left. Guess what we're going to do with it? We're going to take this flour and we're going to turn it into a lovely gravy, including our broth. It can be a beef broth, chicken broth, vegetable broth, whatever kind you have around the house, okay? Honestly, you could use water if you wanted to. Let's go ahead and cut up some vegetables, okay? I like a nice cooked tomato, and so I'm going to cut these tomatoes into like quarters, and I basically just put it into the gravy like as an afterthought at the last minute, just really so they can receive the heat. Just enough to cook them, because if you cook tomatoes too long, they turn into mush. But I'll show you. But here's what we're going to do. I just poured out that inside part. Let's go ahead and chop them into just quarters like this. Lovely. Let's go ahead and slice up some bell peppers. You can slice them, dice them, however you want to do. I just really love the color. A lot of times when I make liver, to beautify it, I'll use all different colors of the bell peppers, the red and the yellow, but I just have green today and that'll be fine, right? Absolutely it will. We're going to slice them into slices just like this. And the key to keeping your dish nice and beautiful is not overcooking these, because once you overcook them, then they lose that vibrant color. You want to cook them enough to where they don't have that raw flavor, but they still keep this beautiful color, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Go ahead and slice up some of this nice sweet Vidalia onion. This is a huge onion. I'm not using the whole thing, right? We're just going to slice it down just like we did our bell peppers. Sweet onions, let's go. Same exact thing. And we're going to make sure, once again, just like I spoke about those bell peppers, don't overcook them. They're going to get a nice sweet taste that you love. Don't worry, because after cooking it for a while, it will eventually get like a nice charred look to it, and it will begin to wilt down, and those stems get nice and soft like you want them to. Let me flip some over. Let's go ahead and flip a couple more over. And if you ever flip them over and they're just not ready, it's okay, because, you know, we're going to cook them until they're well done. Sure we are. It smells great in here right about now. What we're going to do, our liver is about 90% of the way cooked. Don't worry, because we're going to take it out the pan now. We're going to saute up our bell peppers and onions for a little bit, and then we're going to make the gravy. Now, this liver will get reincorporated back into the gravy, and it's going to simmer for a while, right? That's what smothered is, where it gets to kind of hang out in the gravy, get soft and gorgeous, right? So if your liver is not all the way cooked, it's definitely going to cook while it's simmering in your lovely gravy. Now, this little bit of oil that we have in the pan, that's what we're going to cook our bell peppers and onions in, and we can do that right now. Do it. Bell peppers and onions going right in. If you got all the different color bell peppers, that's even better. Right? Lovely. You hear that sizzle? If you don't have enough oil, put just a little tiny bit more oil in there so the vegetables can get done. I'm just going to let them cook up for about 8 minutes or so, and then we'll take them right out of the pan and get started on gravy. Our rice is perfectly done. Look at that nice, gorgeous color that we've achieved by using that chicken bouillon powder. Okay, so now look at the vegetables. Gorgeous. Go ahead and take them out so we don't overcook them. In the meantime, take a peek in at your vegetables and see if you got enough oil to make gravy. If you don't, like I'm gonna do, I ain't got enough. I'm gonna put a little bit more oil in this pan. I'm not gonna rinse this pan out because all of those lovely bits is called fond at the bottom, and it makes for a great gravy, okay? So now I'm gonna put a little bit more oil in there, and then we're gonna add flour, starting off making a roux. Here's how easy it's gonna be to make your gravy. Once that oil heats up, look, it's not a lot, just enough to make the gravy, right? You're always gonna use equal parts flour, equal parts oil. If you don't know how much it is, you can't eyeball it like I can, it's okay to measure it, right? So at no point this should look like plaster. It's gonna look nice and smooth. We wanna cook that raw flavor out, and that takes about 5 minutes. Take a look at this broccolini. Oh my goodness, when I tell you the flavor is great. At some point I had to put a little bit of water in my pan because the stems wasn't getting soft enough, so I put just a little bit. I put that butter in the pan, chicken bouillon, a little bit of onion powder, and that tastes amazing. Okay, so now we have this here. This is our flour mixed with the oil. And so what we're going to do is you can use water or broth. I'm going to use broth. Hand me that beef broth. This is a 32 ounce. I might not use all of it. Just use how much gravy you're going to want, okay? And we mix it. In the beginning, it may look thick, and it will, and you'll think you messed it up, but you didn't, okay? So we whisk it, whisk it, whisk it. The purpose for whisking it really good is making sure you don't have any lumps in your gravy. And we're going to season it to perfection, make it taste good. And you know I'm putting some bouillon powder in there. I'm going to put onion and garlic powder and some black pepper, and then we taste it. When the gravy begins to thicken up, let's go ahead and put that bouillon powder in. Black pepper. Oh yeah, nice amount. Onion and garlic. Yep. And then we're going to put some parsley flakes because it makes everything gorgeous, right? Sure. Soon as it thickens up, the liver, the onions and bell peppers go in so they can just simmer and stew in there. Nice thick gravy. And it looks good. I know it's going to taste good. Okay, perfect. And so now, guess what we're going to do? Everything into the pan. Yes, this is how you smother something. Whether you're doing chicken, fish, pork chops, you put it in there and you just let it marry with that gravy. Oh my goodness. Right here. This is Gina Young style smothered gravy. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? Let's get those tomatoes right in there. Get these tomatoes right in. If you choose, if you like a cooked tomato like I do. I love tomatoes cooked in gravy. And now this won't be long. Just a couple minutes and we're going to turn this thing off and dinner is served. Are you kidding me? Make up a plate. Dinner is served. I'm all excited. Oh my goodness. Y'all, I'm all excited. Are you kidding me? Watch how I do this. Gotta have the rice. And it's flavorful. Broccolini, because why not? Oh, yes. All right, get on there. I know, never mind this. I got like a whole taco salad bar going on. It's some other dishes being made in the background. All right, lovely. We got our rice, broccolini, and now we're going to serve the smothered. I'm going to turn this off. This is smothered liver and onions. Talk about, I'm all excited. Are you excited? You should be. Yes, this is what it's supposed to look like, y'all. Thank you so. Look at this. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you ain't subscribed, what you waiting on? Tell your family and friends. Tell the world what Gina's doing every single day in this kitchen. And Father, on today, we thank you for this meal. Your hedge of protection and your mighty love. Amen. Amen. And once again, to my prayer, stay tuned. Let's taste. I'm all excited. I mean, I can't wait. Definitely a childhood favorite of mine. I'm going right in for that liver. One more bite. Mmm.